Malaysia is known as multiracial country with equally beautiful diverse culture. Beside Peninsula Malaysia, we also have Sabah and Sarawak, which unfortunately less populous state, and sometimes people tend to forget that Sabah and Sarawak exist. Since 2018 being a Sabahan in Peninsula Malaysia, it is such a huge challenge for me. I've encountered several situations that really make me uncomfortable and I really wish to change it. Thus, there are a few misconceptions that people usually have about Sabahan. Disclaimer before I start, I just want to point out that this is mainly my opinion and experiences. I did not intend to make this video to provoke or belittle other people. So, let's go! Firstly, West Malaysian mistaking Sabahan as Indonesian. The misconception that people have about Sabahan is because of our accent. In fact, the way Sabahans speak and pronounce certain words are very different compared to other states. What people from the West Malaysia didn't know is that Sabah have their own Malay slang, and the way Sabahans speak Malay is very different according to where they live. For example, Sabahan in Kota Kinabalu speak Malay differently than those who live in Semporna. Although they speak the same language, which is Malay, but there are differences in their tonality. In this case, the misconception happened is because Sabahan usually speak Malay in Baku form, and people tend to refer Baku sound as Bahasa Indonesia. Meanwhile, the sound ipepet goes to the standard pronunciation of Malay. This misconception should be eliminated from all Malaysian people regardless where they are from, Sabah, Sarawak, even the West Malaysia. Nevertheless, the Baku sound of Sabah Malay is not specifically related to Bahasa Indonesia. Also, the ipepet sound of KL, Selangor, Johor Malay also not specifically related to Bahasa Malaysia. And just like how in other states you have your own accent, your own dialect, then also the same thing for Sabah. I think it is not fair to compare because it can be misleading to both Sabahan and also Indonesian. And it really hurts because people rather label you as Indonesian, and some even look down on you just because of your Malay slang. Therefore, I really hope Malaysian can avoid from saying such remarks to Sabahan. Move on to my second point, which is people tend to forget that Sabah is a part of Malaysia. I remember on my way back to university, I rode taxi and the driver was very friendly. We talked sometime and suddenly he asked me where I came from. I said I came from Sabah and he said, "Wow, welcome to Malaysia." And I was like, okay. First and foremost, we all learned history back then in high school. To be specific, Form 5 History Subjects, Chapter 6, Pengukuhan Negara dan Bangsa Malaysia. The Federation of Malaysia was formed following by the merger of Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, which is Sabah, and also Sarawak on 16 September 1933. In this day and age when so much information available on the internet and everything is like on our fingertips, there is actually no excuse for us to be confused or for us to not know what are the state in Malaysia. In my opinion, this misconception happened is because inadequate information taught about Sabah and Sarawak in school, and also there's a low interaction between Sabahan and also from other states. If this happened back then when there's no new media, there's no YouTube, I might understand. However, in this age and day, we can get information as fast as we could. We also have learned about Malaysia history, so actually there's no excuse for us to not know that Sabah actually a part of Malaysia. Thus, in brief, let's conclude my explanation for point 2. Third point, there are also myths that leads to the misconception towards Sabahan. There are a few myths that I believe Sabahan would encounter, especially when they come to West Malaysia. The first myth is that Sabahan live on a tree. I don't know where this myth came from because as far as I know, my ancestors live on land, and that even before the World War II. The myth's obviously wrong here because we literally lives on various places, be it in bamboo house, cement house, and even sea. Move on to the second myth, putting ba at every end of sentence will make you a legit Sabahan. First thing first, we did not put ba at every end of our sentence. The word ba can be used in various forms and it has several functions. The first function is it is used to amplify word expression. In Malay, people usually say yalah. Meanwhile, in Sabah slang, we usually say iya bah. So we amplify the word expression there to show our feeling. And sometimes when we want to say to someone that we are not with them, we just put bah to amplify the word expression. Second of all, ba also used in the beginning of the sentences. If you have Sabahan friends, I think you might have encountered a situation where your friend just replied to you say, Bah, I want to eat first. Bah, I will go first. Bah, I want to sleep first. So it basically saying that, yes, I will do it. Yes, I'm gonna do that. Does this prove that the myth putting ba at every end of the sentences is wrong? Because you can use it at the middle or even in the beginning. To use the word ba, not only you need to adopt the authentic Sabah rhythm to your speech, but also you need to be all authentic in your Malay. That way you can pull off the Sabah slang perfectly, and although I never met any of my friends who done it correctly, but it's okay, at least they got A plus for the effort. In brief, we all still have much to learn from one another. It is our job to educate the ignorant people about Sabah and to prevent the misconception from passing from generation to generation. It is frustrating to see that people remain ignorant about parts of their country and also their fellow countrymen. I also believe that it comes down to attitude, and it will be very beneficial for us if we educate ourselves about our diverse nation. There is also value in learning from one another, such as building a relationship, mutual respect, and also understanding. Therefore, together with me, let's put the end of misconception not only about Sabah but also the others.